What's up everyone, Ben from Living Survival. The snow is finally falling here in Michigan. I'm super excited. I can finally do some winter camps with some snow and not just the gray, nasty coldness. But today we're gonna take a look at one of my favorite Chinese knives. I don't have a lot of Chinese knives, but this one kind of blew me away. So let's take a look at a brand new knife from Kubi Knives. So when you can take pretty flimsy paper and not only just slice right through it, but also create just tiny little shavings off of paper like that, you know your knife is incredibly sharp. And this Kubi Aris came just like that, incredibly sharp. This is my favorite Chinese knife I've ever owned. I do have a few Chinese knives in my collection from Ganzo, Sanrenmu, but this is my favorite from Kubi, a company that I believe is relatively new. Now, a lot of Chinese companies will either design a knife after another knife. There are some that do straight replicas or clones. This knife was obviously designed after the ZT 0450, which I happen to also own. You can see here that the design is very similar. The cut is pretty identical all the way down to the back here, and all they did was just extend it a little bit. So the top, you know, is pretty dang identical there. The bottom portion is pretty identical, again, up until this portion where the ZT sort of cuts off there, and the Kubi is just a little bit longer. So not quite a replica of or a clone, but certainly taking design aspects from the very popular ZT 0450. Now this is a frame lock, whereas the Kubi is a liner lock, but that's something that you're going to see from Chinese makers, as they'll make something similar. And some people agree with that, some people don't agree with that. My opinion on it is that someone who's going to buy a $50 knife is not necessarily going to be the same person that's going to spend $180 on a similar ZT model. So there is a place for these Chinese knives, and believe it or not, these Chinese knives are getting better and better. This being probably the best Chinese knife, again, that I own. So liner lock there, you've got carbon fiber handles, very, very nice carbon fiber, not only when dry, but also when wet. You've got a titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip, ceramic ball bearings. So not only does it fly out with that flipper, you got D2 steel here, but also, the knife is very smooth. You can see they're very smooth when going back down into the closed position. So something that you won't find with other knives that aren't on ball bearings is they just won't be nice and smooth like that. Buttery smooth on the deployment and buttery smooth when closing the knife back up. And I really like that blade design. Again, if we look at the ZT here, pretty similar. It is a little bit different than the ZT. It's got a little bit more belly to it, a little bit more swoop than the ZT, but again, you can certainly tell that they modeled this knife after the ZT there. Now there is a little bit of a scallop there in the handle, which you don't have on the ZT. The carbon fiber on the ZT is a little bit nicer as well, but for $59 you're getting a heck of a knife here. Centering is perfect, as perfect as it gets. The blade geometry, the grinds are perfect. Lock up, no left and right, no up and down, and it's just insanely sharp. Definitely by far the sharpest Chinese, if not the sharpest knife that I've ever received, other than maybe a custom. I got a Deering knife, one of my holy grail knives lately, which I'll be showing in a future video, not a Chinese knife, that is insanely sharp like that. But when you can just cut those real fine, feathers off of paper like that, it is just super duper sharp. Very, very sturdy, again, with that carbon fiber. Some specs on the knife here: 3.4 inch blade, 8.1 inches overall, and again, as we compare it to the ZT. A little bit longer than the ZT. D2 steel, a little bit heavier than the ZT as well, but you know, this is one of those knives that I just haven't been able to put down since I got it. You know, the pocket clip could be a little bit better. It's more of a design aspect of the knife rather than function, although it does function okay. I like a deeper style pocket clip, so I prefer the pocket clip on the ZT, something that you know is going to stay in your pocket. It also is not reversible. It's only right side carry, but it is tip up, so that's nice. Very, very smooth deployment though. Very, very nice. And you know, so if you're looking for something that's affordable, that you can get carbon fiber, you can get titanium, you can get those ceramic ball bearings, you know, things that you find in the upper 100 price range, you can pick up from one of these Kubey knives. Now they do design them or have them made, and then they basically just stamp their name on them and then place them on Amazon. So, you know, you're saving a little bit of cost there by them sort of moving the knives themselves. But as we've seen in some other makers, maybe Sanrenmu, which actually, you know, they work with a lot of US companies to do their design. And of course, you know, a lot of knives now are made and have been made in China, Japan, in other places like that. So it's starting to see a lot more quality come out of China, and that's certainly what you see with this knife. So highly, highly recommended. Certainly going to keep this one in my collection. I'm going to take a look at some other Kubey knives down the line. Now you also, in addition to the knife, you also get a cool case. So cool little multicam case here. It's got 2 slots for knives, so 1 slot there, 1 slot there. It comes with a little cleaning cloth. So just, you know, just a little extra that they threw in, whether you use it for your knife or you use it for something else. You could certainly use this as a little kit pouch or something. Pretty dang cool that at least the Aris comes with that. I'm not sure their other knives come with the pouch like that, but very, very cool setup from Kubey Knives. So as always, there will be a link below if you guys want to pick one of these up. I know not everyone can afford the expensive ZT and other expensive knives that are out there, so it is nice that there are some alternatives out there. Some people may call it a clone. It's not a clone. They've changed it enough so that it's similar. They drew off the similar design, but it's not an exact copy, and it's taking nothing away from a company like Zero Tolerance. People that are going to buy that knife are people that are not going to spend the extra money to buy the ZT anyway. So entirely different market. As I said, there'll be a link below in the description. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a big thumbs up for me. Make sure you share it to any friends or family on your social media. If you haven't already done so, please click that red subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of new videos.